When I first started training, I was a calisthenics junkie. I didn't include any weights because I didn't believe in them, and I thought that it was hard to just do calisthenics, which it is. But listen, as I've gotten older, I've realized that adding weights in your routine as a calisthenics athlete can really benefit your whole physique. It can really elevate it from one level to another level. So today I'm going to be talking about how you can build your upper body with lifting and calisthenics, especially weighted calisthenics. And this is how I do it. So today we're going to be talking about what type of split to follow in order to see results with weighted calisthenics and weightlifting on the side as well. Let's get into the first chapter of this video. First thing first, how many days a week do you want to train? You gotta first answer that question for yourself. For me, it has always been 6 days a week. I love 6 days a week. I love having 1 day off and that's it. So what worked the best for me is having 3 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 1 day off. And I basically just repeat that cycle every single time. So basically how it works is you have workout A, which you do one time, you have workout B, which you do, you have workout C, and you repeat that cycle over and over again. So it's 3 workouts that you just cycle through. That's it. It's very simple. And I'm going to be explaining to you what type of stuff I personally do that you can start to do as well, but kind of make it your own unique program. So let's get into workout number 1, and that is compound movements for the chest and the back. When it comes to combining calisthenics and weightlifting, is you got to put your priorities first. So when it comes to my priorities has always been weighted dips and weighted pull-ups. The reason why I always train my compound movements with mostly calisthenics instead of weightlifting is because I feel like compound movements with weighted calisthenics work better for me. They always been growing me like a motherfucker, bro. Weighted dips grew me crazy. Weighted pull-ups grow me crazy. Push-ups grow me crazy, and I just go insane with them. So of course I've been doing weightlifting compound movements here and there to isolate the upper chest, doing some overhead presses. Of course I've been doing that, but I'm gonna get into that later. So the first day is you should pick out your calisthenics compound exercises that you would like to progress in. So for me, it's weighted pull-ups and weighted dips. For you, it could be something else, right? For you, it could be handstand push-ups and front lever pull-ups or front lever hold, whatever it is. But choose your pushing and you're pulling compound exercises. And that's gonna be day 1. Day 1 is only gonna be those exercises. You're only gonna be focusing on the chest and your back, pushing and pulling in order to build strength. What I usually do right now is I have a chest and back day. It's kind of like the Arnold split. It is basically the Arnold split, but I'm gonna be making it more unique for myself to include bodyweight training and weighted calisthenics in there as well. So on day 1 is basically where I train the weighted pull-up and the weighted dip, and I do very high volume sometimes and very low volume also sometimes. I kind of switch it through every single week. So that's what you need to do. Pick the exercise that you want to focus on and progress with the most on day 1, which is your compound chest and back day. You don't want to be adding any type of isolation exercises. This is explosive strength, power, normal strength. This is basically what you want to be doing on that first day. So usually what I would do is I would have about 3 exercises for the chest and 3 exercises for the back, and I would alternate between the 2. And this is something that you should do yourself as well. You should alternate between chest and back. I don't think it's effective to do only chest and then only back after chest. The reason why is because when you do chest first and then back, you're going to be way too depleted for the back part because you already did your chest. Your chest is a big muscle group. You need big movements for the chest. So your back part is going to be weaker than the first part, which is your chest. That's why you should always alternate between the exercises so that you even it out and have the most energy on both muscle groups. So the first exercise would be weighted dips for me. This is the exercise where I do the most sets. The first 2 exercises, I always do the most sets because those are the most important. So I do weighted dips, about 5 sets, and I do high weight. I really make it heavy as fuck, but I never really go underneath 5 reps. I always keep it above 5 reps, so 5 to 10. And depending on my goals, I kind of shift this from time to time. Same thing with the pull-up, which comes after the dip. I focus on high sets and moderate reps. From there, I focus on movements that very specifically target my chest and my back, but not isolation lifts. So usually for me, this could be way different for you, but usually for me, it would be the incline bench press, which I really love because I always wanted to bring my upper chest out. And that has been going very well by implementing incline bench press, Smith machine into my routine. After that, I would do another back exercise, and I've been focusing more on rowing because I've been pulling up all my life. The vertical pull, I got that down. I need to focus on rowing and pulling horizontally in order to see more mass on my back. So I do barbell rows with an elevated platform as well to get that stretch on the lengthened part of the movement, and I basically just keep going from there, doing about 3 to 4 sets. Then I move on to different chest exercises, different back exercises. This is something that you got to figure out yourself, because my routine will not work for you. I'm way more advanced. From there, we have the second day. The second day is going to be your quote unquote bro day, where you only train shoulders and your arms. So this is going to be more isolation focused. First thing that you got to get out of the way is your shoulders. These are pretty big muscle groups, and you want to put a lot of focus on them because they need a lot of attention, man. If you want to have a bigger frame on your physique, you got to train your shoulders. I've always been lacking when it comes to my shoulders, but guess what? Right now I'm not, because I train shoulders. First exercise gotta be a overhead press, and this is also your weightlifting day. It gotta be an overhead press. If you really want to stick a little bit more to calisthenics, you can do a handstand push-up or a handstand push-up variation or a pike push-up, but I prefer doing it weightlifting style, such as an overhead barbell press or overhead dumbbell press. So I do that again with the most sets, 5 sets. Then after that, I do a shit ton of lateral raises. Very simple. I focus on lateral raises because I want to bring my shoulders out from the side. I want to look wider, so I'm doing lateral raises to bring that side delta. So what I would usually do is a superset between lateral raises, normal ones, or leaning against the bench, doesn't really matter. Supersetting it with upright rows, and I've been progressively overloading these 2 exercises every single week. That's something that you should do as well. You should always take progressive overload very serious, because that's one of the main pillars of building muscle. After that, I always do 9 sets of biceps and 9 sets of triceps. I used to do way more. If you have seen my previous video quite some time ago, I did a video on arms. The reason why I stopped doing 25 sets of biceps and 25 sets of triceps is because I wasn't taking any of them sets close to failure. Right now, with 9 sets of biceps, 9 sets of triceps, I am taking them close to failure, and that's the most important thing, especially as a natural. 3 exercises for bicep, 3 exercises for tricep, 2 exercises for shoulder, which one of them is a superset, and basically going until you cannot go no more every single set. That's basically the goal of your arm days, right? So my first bicep exercise would usually be the regular barbell curl. This is my favorite bicep exercise, and I've been focusing on progressively overloading with this exercise. The reason why is because I feel this so heavily in my bicep, and I don't even know why, bro, but it's just so good, bro. Like, the strength part of this exercise is absolutely magical. You should keep it into your routine. It's very basic. A lot of people neglect it because they have been looking at these science-based YouTubers and they only care about the stretch, which is very important. I'm gonna get into that later. But this barbell curl, the basic ass barbell curl, will always deliver you results if you progressively overload on it. So that's the first exercise, 3 sets to failure. Second exercise is going to be incline dumbbell curls, my favorite bicep curl after the barbell curl. So we're going to do 3 sets again to failure. It's very simple. I just do it to failure. The reason why I do it to failure is because as a natural athlete, you got to put some more effort into it. It's simple as that, bro. You're going to be struggling if you're natural and not taking your sets remotely close to failure. So you gotta actually train hard. So that's the second exercise. I basically just try to focus as much as I can on the stretch, because that stretch part is the most anabolic part of that whole incline curl. That's the part that you want to focus on when it comes to the incline curl. That's the purpose of the incline curl, because or else you wouldn't be laying back like that. Incline curl, 3 sets of failure. Then after that, I would do more stretched based exercises because they just work so well, bro. So usually I would do or a preacher curl, where you can really get that nice stretch on it and also a nice squeeze, or a behind the back cable curl, where you're basically stretching that muscle all the way back. 3 sets each. For triceps, I always do this little exercise. I learned this from CT Fletcher, shout out him. It's basically a laying dumbbell extension, but instead of doing it over your shoulder, you're doing it across the body. And this has been really frying my triceps up lately. And I do high reps with this, probably like 15 to 20 of 3 sets. And I go to failure on every single one of them as well. So I really want to fail a rep, which is usually somewhere in the 18 to 19 to 21 ratio, right? Before that exercise, I do tricep push downs. The reason why I do it before is because it warms up your elbows. So a lot of people have been doing these crazy elbow driven tricep exercises first because they think it's a strength exercise. So you got to do it first. It's the biggest exercise of the workout. So you got to do it first, which there's some logic in that. But the only thing is your elbows are very active during these movements. So if you first do your push downs and get those out of the way, first off, you'll already have a pre-fatigued feel in your tricep, which is going to feel nicer in these big movements, and your elbows are warmed up. That's the most important part of it. Your elbows are warmed up. So first do push downs, 3 sets to failure, just totally failure, just basically going all out. Sometimes what I even do is I like to remove the pin with a lighter weight and then pushing out extra to go to failure extra. Sometimes even turn around and do some pushaways like that. Basically just going all out for these 3 sets. You want to have nothing left in the tank. Then we're going to go to those crossbody extensions. Then the last exercise is going to be whatever I feel like. I don't really know a lot of tricep exercises that work for me. Not a lot of exercises when it comes to the tricep work nicely for me. I don't really feel them that good. But these 2 exercises have been very important for me. And usually for the last exercise, I like to include a easy bar skull crusher, which I like to do from time to time, or I just like to do body weight dips at the end of my session. So that's the bro day. This day is basically used to isolate all the muscles that you have also used on the first day that you didn't isolate them on. Third day, we're gonna be focusing on legs. Legs, bro, do your classic leg day. I focus on my squats, my leg press, my leg extension, my leg curls, my Romanian deadlifts. Very basic, 3 to 4 sets per exercise, 4 sets, 5 sets per exercise. And I just basically keep on going. Very simple leg day. I don't really have to explain too much. It's just a leg day. Whatever type leg day you like to do, just do that, okay? That's just basically the most important thing. Just do a leg day that you feel good with and that you actually go hard on, that you can go hard on. Don't do a leg day from somebody else that you don't even like to really do and it feels kind of awkward to do. You don't even feel it in your quads. Do something that you actually feel. Now we're gonna get into phase 2. Now you basically had phase 1. Phase 1 was basically these first 3 workouts, A, B, and C. Now the second A, B, and C workouts are going to be the exact same, but you're going to be swapping out some of the order of. So what I usually do on that A workout, the first one, the calisthenics compound movements, is what I usually do is I would start off the first time with dips or pull-ups. Now I would start off the other way around so that I get a different type of feel to my body, right? So usually, let's say I started off with dips on workout A, and then all the way on the next workout A, I would now start off with pull-ups to kind of make it different for myself and to shock my body once in a while, right? Same thing when it comes to the shoulders. Do your arms first and then shoulders after. Do whatever you want in that week too, but kind of swap out the order of it, right? That's a very simple tip on how to actually build your upper body with calisthenics and weights. If you want my full attention in a single program when it comes to weights and calisthenics, go to the link in my bio. I have a calisthenics hybrid training program for 8 weeks that will train you to actually being able to combine these 2 and build muscle and strength with it. So if you want that, link is in the bio, and I'll see you in the next video.